And with that, I want to liken it to my own situation. I left the army in 1982. I saw some young lady looking at me thinking I'm a young man. I'm 71. And why? You think I'm not effective? So, in 1982, I was in the army, but those were the days of the coups and the revolutions. And Ghana's economy was worse than it is now. There was petrol queues, no food, all sorts of things. And that was the time I chose to leave the armed forces. And when I left the armed forces, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have anything. I just said I was fed up with the armed forces because the armed forces had been turned upside down. There were now other ranks who were now superiors and even governing the country. So I left. And my immediate plan was to go back to UK where I'd studied to become an accountant. So I went to UK and looked for my close friend, British guy. And I said, Derek, it's so bad in my country and you have to help me get a job. And Derek said, okay, I'll give it a try. So he contacted his company and he said he got me a job in the place called Salisbury in UK. And I was supposed to be some sort of bookkeeper. And Derek was assistant accountant in London. So I said, Derek, but I was brighter than you in school, so why this? I said, you don't have papers, and you, with the way you talk, you better shut up, go and hide in Salisbury because we have to cover up for you. And I said, okay, keep the job, I'll come back. And I came to Ghana, and I knew I wasn't going to go back. How do I go and hide in some Salisbury place, bookkeeper? Irrelevant. Then I drove to Nigeria, and those days there were a lot of Ghanaian graduates in Nigeria teaching and doing all sorts of things. I went to see my friends, and what they did was, well, they had decent jobs, the pay was enough, they would buy Guinness in the evening with light soup and goat head. And it was nice, and we chat and we laugh. And they said, Kofi, go and pack and come. And I said, okay, maybe I'll come back. I knew I wasn't going to go back. Life is not all about taking light soup and good head and being okay. That's not life. Then I went to Liberia, it didn't work, and I came back. And I said, I'll stick it out here. Because I'm not the dumbest Ghanaian, and I see people successful, so I must find something to do. And therefore, I started following my next door neighbor, who was a business person, and doing business, buy and sell. Then we get into timber business. Then we get into construction. Then we get into hardware. Then we import wines. Then we get into air conditioning. I've been an electrical contractor before. I've done also for 15 years. I did almost every business imaginable. And then finally, because of the problems associated with funding, I decided that, listen, and when I was denied funding, and it pained me, I decided that, listen, what is funding about? I think I know how to lend. As a chartered accountant, as a military man, as a management, past management student, school of administration, and 15 years of business, I will show people how to lend. And therefore, I started Unique Trust Financial Services. I'm saying this to let you be aware that when the going gets tough and you stick to it and try to find solutions, you will fail so many times. But stay strong to your cause. And don't think too much about how others are seeing you. Because I remember my time I said, oh, a whole captain, and then he's carrying fans and air conditioners around and things like that. I didn't care. And eventually I started Unique Trust. Now, the Unique Trust story, I cannot say it in 25 minutes. But I'll give you a gist about it. When I started Unique Trust, I was 45 years old. That was in 1997. And I was broke. Not only was I broke, But I also had a broken home because my wife had left me with my kids, and I had nothing in my house. So it can be done. I was broke with a broken home, and actually, age was not on my side, 45 years. But we started Unit Trust, and we had all the problems that you can think about.